All right, hello, welcome back. This is going to be my session 4 for the proof of concept for just the candle formation. I am looking to see um, how everything's been playing out over the day. I went through and I did mark up for today at 5 when everything hit, but because of some of the candles formation, I'm not sure what I'm going to do with that. But if we look at previous, so I was expecting candles to go up. So I'll just quickly go through because now I think from previous videos, I think we have a little bit of understanding of what I'm looking for. I'm looking for roughly a 50% retracement of the previous candle, expecting the next candle to go in the same direction. I'm looking for double bottoms, head and shoulders, wick rejections, things of that nature to get into a trade roughly around that 50% mark, and then execute from there. The idea is a 1 to 3 as the risk to reward ratio, but I'll also understand that I'm currently actively trading the same concept 4 hour, 5 minute, and it's a 1 to 1.25. Working on compounding that account to try to get to a higher amount. Um, sorry, I had to walk away for a second. Let me pause. So for today, did not have a whole lot that seemed to have played out. And for the most part, I went through and like I said, I marked up at 5 what had happened, what I'm expecting for tomorrow or pretty much later on tonight. The daily candle, 30-minute candle, usually if it's going to hit for an entry, it usually hits somewhere around 11, 12, 1, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. So those aren't day trade times I actively trade. So, but the idea is testing the concept. I uploaded a back testing video in regards to just a double bottom, double top strategy for back testing. I plan on doing a little bit more in regards to information and education type stuff like that, only because it would help me. It helps ingrain the knowledge that you already have when you're trying to teach somebody else that same knowledge. Um, I also have a video from sometime almost last year, I think, around the September timeframe, where we had a Q&A with a couple different people in um, I think it's a Discord group where that I'm a part of, and they were asking questions in regards to stuff, and I was just sharing my knowledge, and there was a lot of information there that I realized I knew, but I don't actively use like I should. And it was from that insight that I realized that there's a lot of things that I know and that I believe and trust in and can execute on that I wasn't because I didn't have that faith in that. So moving through quickly today, we'll go look through the daily candles. Was expecting this price to move up, looking for a 30-minute entry. Price never came back, so that never happened. Same thing for GBP USD. Price came in, gave one single wick rejection, nothing there for that one. USD CAD had 2 different levels there. Either one hit, so wasn't really too concerned with that. CAD JPY was looking at, I think I went over this yesterday in regards to possible 3 soldiers or 3 black crows, 3 white soldiers or 3 black crows is what they call it in regards to higher high closes afterwards. And that would be the entry reason. Neither one worked out. So I don't think I'll be actually adding that, only because it does push a whole lot farther than I would expect to get into a trade and makes the range a whole lot wider. So not sure I'm looking into that. So moving into Euro USD, also was looking for sells in this area. Didn't happen. GBP AUD was roughly the same way. Looking for sells in that one. It never came back to the 50% retracement. And GBP CAD, once again, another sells. Nothing as far as 50% retracement. We got really, really messy. GBP JPY was looking for sells. reverse of that on my 4-hour candle actually put me into a buy. So that would still actually be in there according to from the trade from yesterday. So that would still be going and not hit anywhere yet. And then USD JPY on a 4-hour sell would have actually take profit from there. So that is that so far. And then as we look at the daily candles on what they look like. So this is roughly what I'm working with. I'm working with small doji candle. I'm working with a small doji candle here. Not a lot to work with. The idea then being, could I work with something in the previous wick, still expecting price to move bullish? That's another testing area that I've got to throw in there. But right now I think I have enough on my plate before I start chucking in more different criterias for entries. So I'll probably stay away from that right now. We'll see at the end of this week roughly how things have been going. Once again, I'm going to be tracking how often price continued moving in the direction I expected, and then how many times I got into a trade based upon it coming into a zone, and then how do those trades play out. From there, you can move down into lower time frames and get a whole lot more trades, or you can do it where it's actually a little bit more feasible instead of this 1 day candle to 30-minute candle where the entries usually are early in the morning, unless of course you happen to be somewhere in like the Asian area and you're trying to trade something new. This might work for you if you look into it, back test it, and see if it works out for you in regards to what the idea that I'm throwing out here. Moving up to GBP JPY, once again, I just have this doji candle here, and it's like, what do I do with that? I don't exactly have set rules on that, so continue going. Expecting this candle to go down based upon the previous 2 candles. But once again, I have a doji candle. Do I work with 50% of the previous wick? What do I do with that? Currently, it doesn't look like it made it to even 50%. So it's like to look back over and see how often price reacts to these type of candles and what to do about that versus just sticking to a hard rule of 50% just because I do 50% of the body. That might not be the case for the wick. There might be more of a particular level that you look at. So once again, not a good candle to be working with. So that's struggling right there. I believe I'm looked on the lower time frame for this one, but this one is actually a continuation of a previous level. So it's not exactly 100%. We just get a little bit of play here, but really not a lot of movement away from this area to call this a valid area. So that's something that I'm looking at, but not heavily, not trusting so much. CAD JPY, once again, the way it closed. I don't know if news or what is going on for the day, but everything seemed to pretty much halt for the day. No real pushes, no real anything else like that. And you can see how the daily closed. That's how it played out. USD CAD, still running the same thing. Nothing really there. GBP USD, no real entry there. Still looking for it to go down based upon the candle, though, based upon the previous candles with the wick projections. And now we finally have a sell candle in play. Would expect this next candle to go down, but we'll see how it plays out. And then odd USD. After this bullish push, and then this still would have been an idea for looking for buys, and as I was expecting that candle to at least go bullish. It didn't get an entry based upon this huge push out of here and this 30-minute zone being way down here. 382 wasn't an area that I was looking at, so I never actually drew it in. If it was, it would be somewhere around there, and then you drop down to 30 minutes, and what do we get? Do we get anything of viability? Not really. And the answer would be no. Nothing ever came down here to tap this level to give you a strong feeling, a strong idea, evidence that this level would be holding as support to move price upward. Price eventually just left without actually doing anything, and then has trickled down into what it is right now. So that is currently all I have for the day. Tomorrow, given I have really nothing to look forward to, or nothing to look forward to, I have nothing that looks like particular zones to trade for tomorrow. I will more than likely be able to maybe elaborate a little bit more on the 4 hour, 5 minute. Um, Same concept. I just drop down some time frames and use that instead. And I actually do it on a particular time. I do it at the New York Open, roughly around 9, the 9 o'clock 4 hour candle. Um, and use that as my reference with the candle previous. So seeing what happened over the Asians or early or London session into the crossover London, New York. And then I tried to catch that hopefully momentum of the previous candle into New York using the 5 minute zones and entries. So that is that for today. I hope that if you're out here on your journey, I thank you for watching. And if this is your trading journey, then I hope you find favor in it and all of your endeavors. Just be well and God bless.